It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I'm going to be honest with you. I laughed in the supermarket aisle when I seen this beer. I was up in Lidl's recently buying the Lidl Craft Beer Festival beers. I went down the normal beer aisle to see if they had anything new. And my goodness me, I laughed when I seen this. This is Birra Bionda, 4.6% ABV, Italian lager, premium Italian lager. 500ml bottle, cost me £1.39. There's the bottle cap. Now I'm going to be putting it up against a Birra Moretti. Again, 4.6% ABV, 500ml bottle, £1.79 a bottle. So 30 pence more per bottle. There's the bottle cap. Now, of course, the reason why I laughed is because, they've used a slightly different bottle, but a lot of this is the same. This Lidl beer here screams Birra Moretti. From the malt and the wheat here on the bottom doing very much the same thing, to the man. The Moretti man's drinking from the glass. The Bionda man here is holding it like some 1930s poster boy. For me, it just... I don't know how they're going to get away with this, Lidl. They've just melted down a load of fake Linda bunny chocolate things, because Linda went a bit crazy because they made some fake ones. Of course, I don't think they should have been melted down and wasted. I think it should have gone back into the, resold as chocolate. It shouldn't be wasted. I really don't believe that. But there's a reason why Lidl do it. There is definitely a reason. First of all, it's 30 pence cheaper per bottle. Let's get the Moretti out first into a glass. There's the Moretti bottle cap. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Now I'm using tulip glasses for this review. Both are going into a tulip glass. The one thing what I've found over time is these cheaper rip-off beers can be better tasted. It was only 2 weeks ago I reviewed the Aldi rip-off Stella Artois, and the Aldi beer was the Saint Etienne, I think it was called, was far better than actual Stella Artois. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if this cheaper version from Lidl is a better tasting beer. Now, Moretti is owned by Heineken, I believe. It's either Heineken or Carlsberg. One of the green companies that I call them. The green lager companies that look relatively the same. Let's have a look. It is indeed owned by Heineken. So let's get the last bit of the Moretti in the glass. Now, I had one of the nicest pints of Moretti ever before it became really popular over here in the UK. In Italy, when I was visiting family. I'll tell you that story if I have time later on in the review. I really want to get all of the beer in the glass. I might be able to do it actually. There you go. Highly calibrated. Now this glass has got a widget and I don't think the hop back glass has. So let's look at the two beers and let's see if there's any real difference. Not really, they're more or less exactly the same in colour. One finger white head on the actual Moretti. The widget in the glass is causing this to go a bit crazy, the Lidl version, but it's the only tulip glass, the two tulip glasses that I have, and I wanted to put them in the same glass to try and get the same aromas and flavours and tastes. Give them a fair chance, you know. So this one's got a two finger white head, but it's streaming with carbonation. Shall we start off then with the rip-off version? They look very much the same in colour. Aroma, well, it's clear straw-coloured lager. Aroma. Smells pretty good, to be honest with you. Light. Wafer-like. A little bit of spiciness, pepperiness. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. A little bit wafer-like with the malts, a little bit biscuity. Extremely refreshing. Nice amount of bitterness on the back end. I'd say that's drinking a little bit like a Helles lager. Not quite a Pilsner, more like a Helles lager, I would say. Now the Moretti, this is the actual Moretti. It's looking a little bit sorry for itself, isn't it, to be honest with you? I know it hasn't got a widget in the glass here. Aroma. Ooh. Much sweeter. Much sweeter. Let's get back in. That's more dry. Dry and bitter. This one, a lot sweeter. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. I'm finding it a worse beer, if I'm perfectly honest with you. If I'm gonna, after just having one big taste of this, let's get another taste in. Let's give it a chance. It's quite astringent. It's a little bit metallic. It's sweet, and it's got quite a longing, artificial bitterness coming through on it. I don't remember Moretti tasting like this when I was in Italy. I had a beautiful pint of Moretti. I went to walk the dog, stuck in. The family weren't doing much for the afternoon. So I said, I'm going to go into town and buy some vegetables for tea. And as I walked past this little kind of, and this is like a ghost town type place. It was called the Mickey Mouse Bar. And they were just opening. So I sat outside. The sun was shining. My daughter was with me. She was a baby at the time. And I ordered a pint of Moretti. And I sat there in the sun. And it was the nicest pint of lager I'd had in a long time. I just sat there quite content and happy. But it was a decent beer. Decent beer in Italy. Over here, I'm not sure if this is UK brewed. If it's UK brewed, then Heineken.co.uk. It's just, I find it really kind of shocking how they can come up with this UK brewed lager can pass as anything other than, it's just terrible. Astringent, sweet, artificial tasting, like there's some like sweeteners or something in there. And I'm going to remind you, £1.79 per bottle in Lidl. That's 30 pence more than Lidl's cheap knockoff version, Birra Bionda, which is far better tasting. Lovely. I could drink 4 pints of that, no problem. No problem. A much better beer. So, next question is, how do they do it? How do they do it? How do Lidl produce a beer that's better looking? I mean, look at the two beers. This one's got nice lacing on the glass. It's looking a far better beer. This one looks dull and dishwater-like. I'll tell you how they do it. This company here, whenever you turn the telly on, you'll see adverts for Birra Moretti. Adverts, maybe some woman in her early 20s in the Italian sunshine drinking a beer. It might be the Peroni advert, but you know what I'm going with this. You know, young people in their 20s enjoying fashionable Italian lager, maybe driving a sports car, that sort of thing. That's where your 30 pence goes. That's where your money goes, is advertising this stuff all over the telly. That's why it's either 30 or maybe 40 pence more to produce than Lidl's version. Okay, I laughed. I did give myself a big laugh in Lidl's supermarket aisles when I seen this, because I thought, this is the most brazen, cheeky attempt yet at saying we're going to rip off another company's product. I mean, for me, it just made me laugh. It made me laugh. But on the plus side, the Lidl beer is cheaper and it's far, far better tasting. So I'm going to rate the Moretti. Birra Moretti. Not much lacing on the glass. I mean, both glasses have been in the dishwasher. Both glasses have been in the dishwasher. Both glasses are the same tulip glass. Look at the difference. Look at the quality on the Lidl beer. Look at that lovely lacing. Look at that head retention compared to the rather flat looking Birra Moretti. So, Birra Moretti, I'm going to give this probably UK brewed Birra Moretti. I imagine it tastes far better in Italy. I think that's a really poor example of a lager, and I'm not a fan. I am not a fan of that whatsoever. For me, that's a 4 out of 10. Birra Moretti is a 4 out of 10. Lidl's Birra Bionda. It's crisp, it's malty, it's drinkable, it's slightly wafer-like, there's a nice bitterness on the back end, it's nicely carbonated, it's got good lacing on the glass, it's 30 pence cheaper per bottle. Give me 4 of these on a sunny Sunday afternoon and I'll be happy. It's a very, very good beer for the price. I like that enough to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for the Birra Bionda. Much better value for money. Much, much better value for money. Much better tasting beer. Get yourselves to Lidl. I hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.